Testing. Hello, everyone. I am back on my bullshit. And by my bullshit, I mean Umineko when they cry. Oh, wait, actually, wait, one thing I do need to do. I need to, how do I do it? Can I do it from here? I can, but I can't remember how to do it. Wait, mm, 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 which one is it? Stream information, that's it, I think. Yeah, so change that to episode 7. And, right? If I just press done, that updates it, right? Yep. Alright. Hopefully that all works. Actually, let me just double check. Go onto Twitch and see that updated on the desktop as well. Oh, wait, I've got it here. Got it here. Yep. Okay, that's all updated. Cool. All right, everyone. Hi, everyone. It's me, and I'm back on my bullshit. We're doing Umineko. We're doing episode 7 because, the longer it takes, the longer the deeper I get into this game, the more I just want to like research about it. And I know I can't because if I do, then I'm going to get spoiled for all the amazing twists that are probably going to keep happening. So, I just want to know as much as possible as soon as possible. You know, that's it. So, welcome to episode 7. Last time, basically, Battler almost tried to start. In episode 6, Battler tried to host the game, and he almost lost there for a second because he accidentally wrote himself into a plot hole. But luckily, Beatrice came back to life and saved him, basically. And so now Battler knows the truth. Beatrice is still is alive. Everybody is happy. It kind of feels like there is sort of almost no reason for the plot to keep going. Except the problem is there is a secret third, well, I don't know. There is a secret, another witch called Featherine, who is kind of like the author's self-insert, who is basically saying, that's all well and good, but actually, I really would like some more concrete answers and to the plot. And the way she's doing that is by basically giving Bern Castell, who may or may not be a character from Higurashi, who was also a horrible sadist and a total bitch. And she says, you can write the next story of Umineko, the next chapter. You can make it whatever the hell you want, just as long as there are some answers and there's some truth in there. So basically, yeah, that seems to be what episode 7 is. That so it'll be interesting. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting because yeah, I think the one question I have is how it's going to keep up my motivation because there's only we already know like we've already known from the last few bits of the Answers arc that essentially all of these stories, none of them are actually happening. They are all essentially somebody's interpretation of events that could have realistically happened or unrealistically happened based on the summary of when the seagulls cried, no one is left alive, essentially. Um, but this one is like when the character's almost openly saying like, oh yeah, like this thing you can write it whatever you want. Like it doesn't really matter what the details are. I just want there to be some bits that can give me the truth. And yeah, it's yeah. I wonder how interested I'm going to keep being because obviously I know once again the details don't matter. But then again, Featherine also basically said, yes, maybe the details don't matter, but the details are being included for a reason because the author wants you to put them in. The author is putting them in for a reason. So clearly, even though you think that the details don't matter, the details are important, even if it's just for the subtext of the story or whatever. Ugh. Why the bad timelines involving either cicadas or seagulls crying? Well, yeah, it's because that's the title of the franchise when they cry. So if something cries, then probably someone is getting killed, but or someone has already been killed. Let's do this. Yep. Right. Scheduled today is the funeral of the Golden Witch and her game. The games are over. Yeah. Basically, the game is over. Whatever the witch's game was, it basically finished by like episode 4. Pretty much, it pretty much finished episode 4, and now we're just doing some song and dance bullshit and basically remixing the story again and again and again until they finally kind of explain to people what actually happened in the first 4 games, as opposed to the whole witches game bullshit, like stuff that we thought we were taking very literally, and then we found out actually no, we don't take this literally. This is all metaphor. None of it's real. Let's figure this out. See what the fuck is going on. The story is very obviously fictional and fantastic in nature. Oh yeah. Also, actually, I should probably, when the OP starts, I should probably mute the game audio because last time it got like sort of copyright stricken, and then they're like, anyway, whatever. It's fine. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, dust to dust, illusions to illusions. Yeah, the witch is a metaphor, but people did not end up murdered for real. Yeah, that is the, yeah, like the witch is the metaphor for whatever murdered these people. And because it's a metaphor, that's why it can be anything, really. It's something because we don't know the truth of it, because no one was there to witness it, it could have been anything or anyone. So it's a witch. And dreams to dreams. A dream is something drawn in the sand between the coming and receding waves. Something so fragile that it's wiped blank every time a wave comes in. So the heartless might sneer, saying that drawing such things is useless and meaningless. It's all useless. However, no wave will ever come away to wipe away the dream she drew. And now that final beautiful dream of hers will not disappear for all eternity. Come, try and picture it. Yeah, Siconia is like, yeah, the next one, I guess, in the series, but I think it's not finished yet. So I don't think I'm even going to attempt to get into that because waiting for that would be torture. It's as though the rays of the gentle afternoon sun on a warm spring day simply forgot to grow dim ever again. It truly is such a wonderful thing. Witness to your final dream. Pu- Publius Vigilia Mara. Oh wait, no, never mind. I was like, is this the new witch? But no, this is Vigilia. This is yeah, whatever her name is. Uh Whatever her name is. The other witch. Alright, the suspects were gathered in a room, said the Inquisitor of Heresy were waiting on the results of the investigation. Alright. Oh, their uniforms closely resemble those of Isa and Jungfrau, but they were slightly different. Do they all have fucking leotards? Also different were the badges signifying their department. Alright, which new character is it this time? As has been shown, it is all quite clear. Know that the preceding logic has proven the non-existence of your alibi. Shannon? Oh, that's not important. What matters now is that she could have entered the closed room study where the victim was found whenever she pleased. Furthermore, that her claimed alibi at the time of the crime has been proven to contradict the facts. Shaking, the maid tried to continue in her illogical pleading, but all of her statements had already been seen through. With this, we conclude our proof of the whodunit and the howdunit. Know that your position as the culprit is now an unshakable fact. You must be joking. Why would I kill the master I loved and respected so? I have no motive, no reason. Who did it and how? Know that establishing these is more than sufficient. Please allow me to speak. Know that motives are unnecessary in mysteries. Zirconia is one of 4 episodes. I mean, a very long hiatus. Oh my god. What is this, George R.R. Martin? God damn it, Ryukishi07. Stop talking to Kadaka on Twitter and finish Zirconia. Yeah, because Kadaka was tweeting because it's Danganronpa's 15th anniversary, and then Ryukishi07 like retweeted about it, and then Kadaka tweeted back, be like, "Oh yeah, I'd love to work together." So that would be fun. Hi, hi, Battler. What do you mean Beatrice is dead again? She just came back to life. Game record that had just been written. Or perhaps it was a tale, a game, or else a fragment. Written in it was the dream that would be more enjoyable for her than any other. Father pressed it against his forehead and contemplated for some time. Then he kissed it, and laid it gently in the coffin. It rested upon her chest. She looked like a little girl clutching her favorite stuffed animal as she drifted off to sleep, like Sakutaro, who is dead. Or not. This is the sole tale I have to offer up to you. The sole tale I have to offer up you was that offer up to you? Is that a typo? This tale will be shut up with you in your coffin for all eternity. So no one will be able to read it except for you, there in your coffin. Shut away in that cut box, the only unchanging, inviolable, eternal tale. This way, no one will be able to defile it. No one can deny it, and no one can argue against it. This is just between me and her, just the two of us. Our one and only certain truth. Oh, hang on. Okay, let me turn this off. Oh, wait. Okay, never mind. Those bastards. A man dashed through a town wrapped in twilight. Never mind. Daytime hustle and bustle of this beautiful village, which combines traditional with the old. Yes, there's no mistake there. The who done it and the how done it are more than enough in the mystery genre. In the mystery genre, the motive, the why done it, is given the lowest priority. Yep. When you find the culprit with nothing but the why done it, that's no mystery. That's propaganda. However, just because of that fact, it doesn't mean you can neglect the motive, the heart. Without love, it cannot be seen, after all. We both know how much fun she'll be having in her final sleep, so I doubt anyone could disturb it. I mean, I guess, at the end of the day, Beatrice does have to die because I guess, in a way, if Beatrice is the metaphor for not knowing the events of October 4th, 1986, then if Battler does know the truth, then I guess Beatrice is dead because it's not but if he pretends it's a witch, then whatever. I'll keep reading after. Yep. Come. It is time for us to leave. If we're too noisy, we'll wake her from her dream. You're right. What else should we? Yep. Father offered up his final words within his heart. As long as those words didn't leave his mouth, no one would be able to know what they were. However, those words of the heart caused Father's expression to change several times. At first, he frowned sadly. Then his face clouded with remorse and then changed to a bitter, exasperated smile. It flashed through several varied expressions. Then, the final expression across his face was, surprisingly, a gentle smile. Something rose to Father's lips. However, he bit it back down. There could certainly be no words to describe the many feelings he kept in his chest. So saying anything aloud would probably be crude. Thank you. Oh, I have done nothing to deserve your gratitude. I'll leave the rest to you. Therefore, her motive didn't matter, or that could just be squeezed out of the culprit afterwards. That's in bold for some reason. This is how you committed the crime. Whether this indictment has been received by the Great Court and that your arrest has been approved. Here is the warrant for your arrest. Motive is unnecessary. Know that such a thing is completely extraneous to the matter of pinpointing the culprit. Please allow me to speak. Know that we of the SSVD possess methods of forcing unrepentant criminals to reveal the truth. These interrogation tools, blessed by the power of justice, we inquisitors of heresy will strip up your limbs, burn you, crush you, stretch you, and hang you, and in so doing wring the red truth out of you. It isn't even necessary for you to confess. Aid to arrest that maid. No. Okay, alright, here we go. I was, okay, yep. So at the end of episode 6, like, through, like, looking at, like, art, fan art of stuff, I'm like, there's two characters who I haven't met yet, who, I'm pretty sure this is one of them. Hold it right there. You've got the wrong culprit. The man kicked the door open, and the Inquisitors were all shocked at the sight of him. Why are you here? Know that this case is no longer your responsibility. Quiet. You find one person without an alibi and just assume she's the culprit? Cool guy that. Oh, okay. I mean, fair enough. I guess cool gotta do a cool guy voice then. Do you really think there's no need for a motive, for a heart in crime? Crimes are committed by people. There are no crimes without a heart. I'll never accept a theory that neglects the heart. Know that your obsession over the why done it is simply embarrassing. The why done it is unnecessary. Such a thing could be extracted easily through interrogation. Even the Great Court has already acknowledged this woman is the culprit. True, the Great Court does assume that everyone besides the maid have an alibi. But that's just because they heard you say so, and they've mistaken your overconfidence and conceit for wisdom. If any one of the other suspects loses their alibi, your evidence so far proves nothing. Just look at how pathetic some of these other alibis are. Does the clock in the reception hall chime midnight exactly the right time? Does the dog by the back door bark at everyone? So you managed to prove the maid alibi is false. Congratulations. Does it end there? It may have been possible for her to do it. Does she have any motive at all? Are the alibis for the others absolutely perfect? Dry mysteries where the motive can just be figured out later aren't worth anyone's time. If the maid isn't the culprit. Hello, Partial Gabby. Hello, Alley Cat. Yeah, you probably can do that. You can just use that torture of yours to squeeze out everything frankly and objectively, as seen from the eyes of God. Like, you know, the author is God, right? You know what? I'll never accept mysteries and theories that lack heart. I won't let you. The real culprit's a different person. It's possible to use motive to find them, and their alibi trick is an old one. You can't neglect the heart. There's no need for that. You call that reasoning? It is forbidden for a servant to be the culprit. Oh shit, he can just do that. He can just do that. What did you say? Van Dyne's 20 rules. Rule number 11. If you want to torture this maid, make sure you double check the alibis for the second wife and her lover first. What is this? The fucking anti-Nox laws? It's. Oh my god! I think I know what they're doing here. Whereas Nox's laws is how to make a good mystery, mystery genre. Van Dyne's rules are how to make a good story, a good narrative. If we're doing that, I hope we're doing that. You can squeeze as much blood and truth from the true culprit as you damn well please. However, I won't let you interrogate or torture anyone who isn't that culprit. That's right. We are Inquisitors of Heresy. Oh, okay, so you're an Inquisitor of Heresy, but you don't have to wear a fucking leotard, because you're a dude. Felling evil witches is our job. However, we mustn't risk hurting the innocent. We mustn't put them under suspicion. No one, not even God, has the right to expose the innocent truths of those who have not sinned. I don't know who you are, but thank you very much. I'm really not the culprit. Yeah, I know. Your boyfriend said he'd be willing to give up everything to prove your alibi. You should thank him. I guess it's basically a similar situation to episode 5. They created logic where Nazi he could physically do it, but didn't make sense for her personality-wise. Yeah, you know what, that's true. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I was gonna say they couldn't force the red truth out of Natsuhi, but actually, I mean, first of all, they're saying this is a different department of heresy, and second of all, maybe they did and I forgot. They were trying to like make her admit it, and then at that point, they make that the red truth. Then, for the first time, the man's sullen expression relaxed, and he patted the maid's head roughly. I'm sure you two will be happy together. Still, meeting together in secret while on the job is hardly praiseworthy. Try to keep that to a minimum. The point of theory making is not to make a culprit, or to trample the truth that lies in the hearts of those who have not sinned. If you want to play the detective, don't neglect the heart. Otherwise, we're just intellectual. Okay, don't say it. They really could have. They really could have had a better translation for that term. Don't forget it. This man's name is Will, and yet that's not what everyone used to call him. Head Inquisitor of Heresy of the SSVD, the 8th District Repentance Enforcement Agency of the Great Court of Heaven. Wizard hunting, right. Alright, and I heard the thing. I heard the sound, so let's go. Here he is. Willard H. Wright, member of the SSVD, the 8th, an Inquisitor of Heresy and a first-class Archbishop. He's commonly known as Wright of the 20 Wedges, or Wizard Hunting Wright. He was an ace Inquisitor of Heresy in his youth, yada yada yada. At some point there was a change in his work attitude. His previous flashy escapades became a thing of the past. His current style is often fickle, alienating between laziness and obsessive bursts of energy regarding mere trifles. That just sounds like ADHD. By now everyone has given up trying to understand him. Great, he has ADHD. He's me. He's already filed his resignation and hadn't accepted. Only a few days remain before he'll lose the name of Wright. Alright. He doesn't have to wear a leotard. You know what, he probably just doesn't have to wear a leotard because he's like a rebel and doesn't follow the rules. Why does he have an anchor charm? Is he a sea guy? Is he a sailor? Oh, here we go. Anyway, what do we have here as well? We've got Fern Castell, Witch of Miracles, Miko the Witch of Theatre Going, 7th game. She conducts Bito's funerals. She was defeated in the previous game, making her the loser. She has proclaimed she will tear out the guts of Bito's game to satisfy her irritation. And yet, ... Yeah. Okay, that's the same. Beatrice is the old one. Risha Maria, yep, that's the same. Yeah, this is probably all the same. I think this is all the same. These are all the same. What about this? Nothing here yet. Okay. Maybe he doesn't have, yeah, exactly. Maybe he doesn't have to wear a leotard because he turned in his resignation. Exactly. This is the last thing I have to pass on to you guys. Oh, wait, this thing. If you want to be the next wizard hunting Wright, remember it. No matter what. It's the blue. Okay, here we go. I'll just hang on. I have to turn this down for a bit because otherwise it's going to shit. I didn't mean to click that. No. I'll you know what? I'll look at it again later. I didn't realize if you just click it, completely it just completely destroys, it completely skips the opening. Well, yeah, they should have a thing that lets you replay that. Anyway, the rain of sadness dripped down the outer walls of the chapel. We have forgotten about the chapel. That is one of those rooms where it's like, why do we have this? Is there a reason for it? And if it was there to like conduct Beatrice's funeral the whole time. A new visitor approaches. Something's different. Wow, we've already gotten to the something's different this time already, and like you could restart and fast forward to the OP, yeah, but I can't be bothered. And like the whole point is that like yeah, I have to mute that anyway because otherwise it gets copyright stricken, and then like it just auto mutes everything, including me talking, and then it just kind of looks weird. You know, for the VOD watchers, all like 0.1 of them. Hi, Canon. This is the reception desk. Sorry, but I'm not a mourner. I'm here to meet with someone. Came to a funeral to meet someone? Dubious. Oh. My apologies. Please enter. Thanks. Could I at least have one of those? Thank you very much. I'm sure she'll be pleased. Okay, yeah, this is definitely not real because Kinzo is here. Father, please take care. Why don't you rest in the waiting room for a bit? I killed her. I did it. Absurd. How could that be, Rosa-sama? I forgot about that part, yeah, because she did say that she saw Beatrice. She was there. As though it lay there instead of in the place of a body, was a single thick book with an extravagant binding. Space all around it was filled with countless golden roses. To my beloved Beatrice, October 5th, 1986. What does this mean? Miss Beatrice. If it was Mrs., then forgive me. I've never met you. However, allow me to express my condolences. Pardon me, but who might you be? I'm Ushiromiya Kraus, serving as the chief mourner. This is my child, Lion. What? What the fuck? Pleased to meet you. I'm Ushiromiya What? Okay, this is the last person I saw a picture of. But I have many questions. The first child of Kraus and Natsuhi. Ah, Jessica is their second child. Yeah, okay. Was given the silver ring and the successor to the headship and will succeed as a succession of family head upon turning 20. Mild, polite, without unclear faults. Except for being too young, Lion is a more suitable successor than anyone else and is adored by Kinzo. Okay, so this is the baby. Yeah. This is the baby. So this is like okay, that's interesting because I mean, yeah, if this is the baby, well, you know, we could say this is like metaphorically, like, you know, what it could have happened if the baby hadn't fallen off a cliff and died. But then there's also Battler thought that he was the baby. But then it's like so if this is all a hallucination, is this like Battler assuming that, Lion was the person that... Well, at least I know this shit doesn't have to actually be real anymore, so I'm less confused now, but... Okay. Pleased to meet you. I'm Ushiromia Lion. Lion? Who the heck are you? It's written as that, but pronounced Okay, thank you. Pronounced Leon. Okay. I mean, what if it's Leon, then you should do it with an E, but whatever. Japanese people. Oh, I didn't even think that he kind of looks like what Battler and Beatrice's kid would look like, but that's true. But no, he's like I said. So okay, in episode 5, Natsuhi explained that there was a one point before she had Jessica, and that they thought she couldn't have children. So Kinzo at one point just like brought a random baby to the island and basically said, "Raise this child. This can be your kid." And Natsuhi was very resentful about that. But then one day, the baby and the person taking care of her were in an accident, fell off a cliff, and they both died. And all this time, Natsuhi thought that like she was responsible for that she'd somehow made it happen, and she's not sure. So this is the idea. This is essentially what would happen if the baby didn't die. Probably. I guess it is a bit strange for a Japanese name. Crow-sama. Madam said it's about time. My apologies. Leon, could you entertain our guest for now? Father and child, is it? Yes, but why do you ask? Are you sure Mia Krause's child is supposed to be Jessica? Jessica's my little sister. Do you need me to call her? No, that won't be necessary. Apparently some sort of game was already being played right off the bat. Pardon me, but what sort of relation did you have with the deceased? None at all. I'm here. Isn't it about time you show your face? So you've come. Wizard hunting right, Inquisitor of heresy. Alright, who is it? Beatrice? Maria? Fucking Vigilia? New character? Oh, okay, no, it's Bernie. Makes sense. I'm already retired. If you have a job you need doing, go ask the new right. No, you're the one I want to ask. I'm giving this case to you. Did you read the tale I sent you? I skimmed it. I don't know who you are, but please get down from there. That's a sacred altar. I hear this is Leon. Who is that exactly? You already heard who. Ushiromia Leon. There's no case of a person with that name appearing in any of the previous games. Hey, listen, I figured it out. I'm a smart person. By a smart person, I mean, like, I can competently read a very long novel that often reiterates points many, many times with long sentences. Is this your piece? No, it's a true and proper piece of this game board. A character appearing in the story. You're the game master. That means it's your piece. I've just moved from Vito's catbox into a larger catbox. Leon is one of the pieces who has a possibility of appearing inside of it. Okay, I mean, that does make sense because, like, yeah, even if Leon didn't appear in Lambda's game, Lambda did essentially pretend to be Leon, so... I see. In other words, it's your piece. It's a piece I've placed would be the correct way to say it. Saying this isn't your simple. Erica? Who's that? Erica-san? Don't try to understand. You'll just get a headache. I don't know what you two are talking about. Anyway, you girl, please get out of the altar. The successor is supposed to be Kraus. My father, Kraus, will be the acting head until I turn 20. Then I'm to succeed the headship. First I've heard of this. Can you prove it? This is the successor silver ring of the one-winged eagle. It is that proof enough for you? Silver ring. The golden head's ring has been appeared several times, but I never heard anything about the silver ring for the successor. I don't remember Kraus or Jessica ever wearing one of those. I'm glad. For someone who's just skimmed it, it seems you've read it pretty well. When a witch hands you a story, you never know when something absurd will pop up. Especially when it's a great witch from the Senate. Who in the world are you two? Sorry, but I don't have a clue what you're talking about. If you've finished offering flowers for the departed, please make your exit. It seems you two aren't worthy of our family's hospitality. Right, try and beat this game. As the game master, Fern Castell, I invite you to join in. I refuse. But Toaru, why? I'm retired now. Reasoning and mysteries aren't my business anymore. How do you intend to spend the rest of your life? Is wizard hunting right going to give up witch hunting? There's still fox hunting and clam hunting to look forward to. I didn't come here to discuss the rest of my life with you. And do as you will. Go wherever you please. That is assuming you can leave this place. So, what are the terms and payment? Who killed Beatrice? That's my game. In payment, I'll forgive you for your insolence and let you leave this chapel. I hear the boredom-hating wizards just love being spoken to rudely. That's only for tags who've tired of life after 1,000 years. I'm still plenty young. So I love thinking about horrible fates in which to trap rude men like you. So, who's my enemy? There is none. There's no one to stand in your way. I just want to sit back and watch you make your beautiful checkmate in this game. I've even found you an ally. That's what this Leon is for. Alright. Okay, I think I see what we're doing here. So we're basically these two newcomers, essentially, are going to have to solve the truth. While Battler just kind of sits in the background. I don't fucking know. Leon is a member of the Ishiramiya family, and should prove to be a useful ally, seeing as no one in the family knows you. I'm not sure what this is all about, but I can hardly be of assistance until I know what is going on here. There, see? Entertain me, and my master, wizard hunting, right? Oh, maybe or I don't know, maybe a polite theater goer, but I might throw popcorn at you if I get bored, okay? You asked me to solve the case of Beatrice's murder, but Van Dyne's 20 rules, rule number 7. It is forbidden to have a crime without a corpse. Okay, that's new. Alright. I guess at some point it'll show up in the tips. That's a devil's proof. Maybe it just isn't inside the casket? Unless you can prove that no corpse exists. This is mystery. Good god, this is fucking meta. Rule number 1 is forbidden to have a crime without all clues presented. Don't worry, everything is gathered here. So, who killed the owner of this empty coffin? I'll answer that question. However, you'll let me do things my way. As you like. This is very much a different story with different, almost different characters. Funny because when I saw pictures of Leon before and I thought it was a girl because the ponytail. But well, I guess we've got two more dudes. That's why neither of them are wearing leotards. As the Miko of the Great Witch of Theatre going, drama and spectating, feathering something or Aurora, and as the Witch of Miracles, I, Bern Castell, announce the start of this game. The tale's title is Requiem of the Golden Witch. Spin a tale fitting for Beto's funeral. Well now, let's see how you drag out the guts. It's canon. Yes, as you wish. Don't you remember the names of all your servants? Our family has many young servants coming in and out, and they're usually replaced quite frequently. Well now, what are you trying to explain to me? Who are you, and what business do you have with this family? Of course, there's no need to convince me. Feel free to head on home if you want. There's no going home. Not for me, not for anyone. Could you please give that a rest? Stop speaking and confusing riddles like that all the time. Even I have limits to my patience. If you don't want me to see you off, should I call Genji or Goda? Don't freak out. Look at this. Yes, I can see that. It's one of the memorial roses. Are you going to show me some kind of magic trick? Watch. Yes, I'm watching. Is a dove going to fly out of it? Or is it going to be flags and fireworks? Ah, huh? What sort of trick is this? Ah! Don't move. This chapel has been cut off from the fragment. Interesting. We're currently locked in a concentrated loop of time. What do you mean by that? Explaining's a pain, so I'll just give you the short version. Basically, unless we play along with our witch's game, no one can leave this place. What on earth is going on? There's only one way for us to be released from here. We have to play along with Bern Castell's game. You mean the one about who killed Beatrice? That's what just telling us to investigate. If you could fill me in, this will go more quickly. That fickle witch will be completely satisfied. You'll be able to get rid of the two of us, and I have a date with Diana when I get back. If I keep her waiting too long, she'll start tearing up the sofa again. Oh, good to know that you've got a girlfriend. Congratulations. Who killed Beatrice, you say? It's hardly something you should go barging into a funeral and asking the family about. Questioning the family is one of the basics of the mystery genre. Just give up and accept it. I do know that Beatrice is the mistress of Kinzo, the family head. Oh, or possibly a cat. Okay, you know what? That's a good point. You really are a strange person. However, Beatrice died a long time ago. According to Genji, she passed away before the mansion was completed. The reason for her death is unclear. be honest, this is the first I've heard about her being killed. Tell me about it, or I don't know. Anyway, who's saying this to who? My name is Ushiromi Leon. Willard. Call me Will. Will-san. Call me Will. I'll call you Leon. Well, to be honest, even I don't know much about this person called Beatrice. I see. I guess it's called a game for a reason. That portrait was first displayed in April of 1984. Seriously, how is it you know so much? Everyone knows Beatrice, and yet no one knows her. Kinzo's the only one who's ever met her. The head seemed to be particularly cranky today. I'll introduce you to him when the chance presents itself, so yep, anyway. That's a quick chapter. I wonder if this will be, I wonder if this will be a quick episode, but who even knows? You can never get your hopes up too much. Not to say I want it to finish, but it's more just like these things tend to have words and more words and more words. So are we going to go to Will and Leon, or is it just going to... No, okay. No, we are, at the very least, we're not jumping to another perspective of another story, so... Actually, maybe I should... Interesting. He's there where Beatrice normally should be. Anyway, what's it gonna do? Is this all the same? Yeah, I think this is all the same. Is Battler the same? Oh, no. I was gonna say it's Battler the same, but here we go. However, it seems he is not participating in this year's family conference. Okay. Interesting. I mean, because that's interesting because I could imagine that is essentially a thing that you could theoretically say, but if they knew that he died that day, then how can you write him out of it? I think this is all the same, though. Leon, where did you go? And who is that? Mother, actually, is Jessica's is Jessica's description different? Here we go. Carlson Natsuki's second child. Leon was chosen as successor to the headship, so Jessica dreams of pushing the family responsibilities onto Leon and leaving for the city herself. Apparently, even in this massive change of her environment, which was brought about by her not being an only child, hasn't changed her personality. Okay, got it. Now, is George the same? I think so. Maria's the same. Yeah, that's all the same. He wants to know more about Beatrice. Do you know anything about her, Mother? I can imagine that Leon just somehow spontaneously got a British accent, and we're like, well, he's got to be the successor now. He's the only one who can do this British accent. Now it's like he's the only one who comes close. Leon, it's part of the individual whom the head owed a great debt. Nothing more, nothing less. Thanks, Mother. Well, that's all my mother knows. You know, also, next year we're getting Detective Precure, so that'll be fun. And I'm just thinking of like, you know, mystery duos, like detective duos, huh? It seems to happen a lot. So, if you, I mean, I think we think detective duo might end up having 5 in the end, but it might start off with 2. So, let's solve this crime together. What's in there? We go. I'm glad I can help. I wouldn't want to keep your dear cat Diana. Oh wait, you're right. Won't you need to be fed soon? Cure Knox incoming. Oh yeah. I mean, I swear I'm going to just like. I'm just like when I'm gonna watch the episodes, I'm just be like, okay, they're breaking Knox's fit. Yeah. I mean, I think it's great because yeah, I mean, Ryukishi 07 loves detective stories, and he kind of seems to vaguely understand magical girls, at least somewhat. I gave her extra food today. Oh, okay. So clearly, I think you already knew that Diana was the cat there, but yeah. Surprised you realized Diana was a cat. I figured it'd be just a bit too eccentric for her to be a human woman who scratches at sofas when you keep her waiting. Okay, okay, that's fair enough. Hmm. So, who will you talk to first? Anyone. Everyone. Yeah, Eustremia Rosa. When she was a girl, she once got lost in the forest and bumped into a woman calling herself Beatrice in a hidden mansion. I know I shouldn't be surprised anymore, but you really do know everything, don't you? Actually, wait, I haven't even gone to the original images. Hang on, what do they look like normally? Okay, yeah, looks about right. The yellow eyes are very interesting. So you don't like, everyone has kind of normal eyes, whereas like I guess their original style is kind of everyone has the sort of black eyes, even if like here is like actually he's got like brown eyes, but he's like his eyes are just like yellow. Obviously, it kind of obviously makes him look a lot more, what's the word, inhuman. Ah. He says he wants to know what sort of relationship the Uchiromiya family has had with the deceased. Well, even if you say relationship with the Uchiromiya family, probably makes more sense to say her relationship with father. She was father's mistress. If you call her that, Natsuhine-san will yell at you again. He's indebted to her, right? Yep, that's right. She just suddenly came out with it today. It's a bit hard to believe. It's the truth. I killed Beatrice. Perfect, the work here is finished. Don't get ahead of yourself. If I had taken her out with me, she never would have died. She was so innocent, like a chick. I took her out and she just followed along obediently. She stayed right behind me, trusting me completely. And because I made her take such a dangerous path. That's not what it means to kill someone. It was an accident. An accident she never would have had if I hadn't brought her with me, right? It's my fault. Really, is that really true? Right, remember how it's like, what's the word? the first 4 episodes of the questions arcs and then the 4 episodes of the answers arcs relate to each other. So I guess this story must have happened in episode 3. So now it's like we're actually sort of resolving this kind of. Beatrice was grateful for what you did. You're the one who taught her that the sea is blue. Is that true? I guarantee it. Thank you. Those are the words Beatrice is whispering to you even now. Thank you. You really have no problem making claims you could never back up, don't you? Back up? Is that really necessary to comfort a woman? It seems I underestimated you. I don't know who you are, but thank you. I wonder if she'll forgive me. You've worried about it for nearly 20 years. It's far too long. I should tell you that you've suffered more than enough already. That's right, Aunt Rosa. The sadder you are, the sadder Beatrice would be. You too. Thank you. I don't know if I'll be forgiven, but I'll keep on speaking my heart to see whether she'll forgive me or not. Thanks, you two. Sorry for showing you such an embarrassing side of me. And I'm sorry for saying this right after saying something so pretty, but I want you to talk to me. Tell me what happened back then. Will, son. Thanks, but it's fine. I'll talk. Hiding this and keeping quiet about it for so long might have been my greatest sin. Exactly when was it that you met Beatrice? It was about 20 years ago. Wait, it might be 19 or 18 years ago. 19 years ago, you say? I'm sorry. I've tried to force myself to forget it for so long, I've nearly forgotten that part completely. It should have been 1967. But Gary did that in the Red Truth in the third game. Okay, I forgot about... Oops, wrong button. I forgot about that. But if you say so, game. That's right, it was probably about 1967. I remember what happened as clearly as a picture. At the time I was in a state of shock since my tutor told Mother about something that was supposed to be a secret. And that day I became reckless and I kept running deeper and deeper into the forest. This tale had also been told in a previous episode. Yep. Back when Rosa was just a kid, she went deep into the forest, found a hidden mansion, met with a mysterious woman who called herself Beatrice. But that forest is so thick, even pushing your way through it, a bit of it is hard, right? So you then reached the hidden mansion, Quidorian, and met a woman who called herself Beatrice. Yes, I met her. Is that Beatrice the same as the one in the portrait? Yes, they were the same person. Beautiful blue eyes, golden hair, black dress. It truly was the person in that portrait. When Father first had it hung, I realized that the 20 years I'd spent trying to forget must have seemed just as long to Father, if not longer. I became more fearful of my sin. Are we sure this is the same Beatrice? Yeah. Beatrice is supposed to be that lady of leisure who lent Dad all that gold shortly after the war, right? They're using Beatrice's gold as for anyway. Rosa-san meeting her must have been at least 10 years after that. A woman who could do as she pleased with 10 tons of gold could hardly be some little girl, and 10 more years passed before she met Rosa. But how old did the Beatrice you met look? She looked older than I was at the time, but even so, it looked as though she might have just been reaching adulthood. It was just the sort of age the Beatrice in the portrait. And isn't that strange? In other words, they're different people. Different people who look very similar and have the same name. Might have been her daughter. The kid would obviously end up looking like her mother. His mistress's daughter. It is possible. Perhaps father had an illegitimate child with the Beatrice who gave him the gold. And then Rosa bumped into Beatrice II. That way, the ages fit just fine. I see. In other words, there are two people who can be called Beatrice. Rosa, I know you probably don't want to remember, but tell me about the accident. After Beatrice fell, was she still breathing? No, her eyes were open wide. She fell upside down head first and knocked her head against the sharp crag on the rocky beach. She fell from such a height. I saw the inside of her cracked head. She caved in deep enough to fit your fist inside of it. No one could be naive enough to see that and still hope she was still alive. A lion statue, you say? That night I turned over in my bed so many times I couldn't sleep. I called Genji-san on the phone and told him. He told me to let him handle everything and to speak of this to no one. I spent the next several days terrified the father would call me and scold me brutally. But he didn't. Genji-san kept on doing his job quietly, just like normal. That's all I know. And that's all I know, too. Thanks, Aunt Rosa. That's enough. It was a nice review. If he wanted to learn more than what was in the fragments Ben Castell gave him, he would need to find new testimony. Leon, tell Kinzo that I want to talk to him. It looks like he won't get anywhere without asking the man himself. So, how's the game going? It's my line. I've barely fucking done anything, Bernie. Fowler annoyed me over and over with his incompetence. You're quite competent compared to him, so it's much more relaxing to watch you work. I don't like you drawing me about this game, so I have nothing standing in my way. It's easy. That sort of game has already ended. Tales can be enjoyed twice. First you love them, then you tear out their guts. Somewhat butcher now. So, do you think you figured out who killed Beatrice? Rosa's confession is something I already know from a previous fragment. There's no brand new information. We're still at square one. Unless Ushiramiya Kinzo tells us what really happened, we won't get any further than this. Don't tell me that arguing with Kinzo and persuading him to spill the beans is supposed to be part of this game. That'd be fairly boring. Kinzo refuses to speak of the truth and is himself the king protected by his castle. But it wouldn't be any fun to have that stand in the way of your game. I won't torture, it's not my style. I know. As the game master, I will grant you power, so that you can get the truth from Kinzo, of course. The detective's authority? What, that pathetic ability? No, this is an invitation to the grandstands. Theater-going authority. That's supposed to be forbidden without authorization from the Senate. I'm the one giving it on my game board. Who's gonna stop me? Entertain me if you can, and try and enjoy yourself. You must also be interested in seeing what the guts of Beatrice's game board looks like, right? I am the Senate. Who is it? Pardon me. I heard a voice, so I wanted who it was. Ah, Shannon. So you're running the reception desk this time? Yes. I've been taking it in turns with Kanonkin to run the reception desk. And Kanon? A short while ago, he was ordered by, Leon Sama to take a break, so he's resting now. So you don't know Leon either? Huh? No, that's not. Because you're a piece. He's like, because you're a piece, you know that things are wrong or whatever. Eushiromir Leon is the successor, the one who wears the silver ring. Why are you stumbling over that name when you've worked here for 10 years? That's... Don't worry. I don't recognize Leon either. Kraus is supposed to be the successor. Jessica is supposed to be his only child. There hasn't been a single fragment with anyone named Leon in the Eushiromir family. Where is this place? I think it's the Ushiromiya family chapel. However, something feels different about it. Also, I never knew that someone named Leon Sama existed. And yet Madame Kraus Sama, the master, the lady, and all the relatives talk as though it's perfectly natural. I just don't understand what's happening. Leon is a piece placed by Bern Castell. She also said that in order to place that piece, she switched over to a larger cat box. On top of that, it seems this world isn't a proper world, but one made out of several different fragments sewn together. How does that work? Or as in, that's why, like, for example, the Rosa Beatrice story is here, but, like, it's not always in every other fragment, because maybe it only happens in certain timelines? Like the Spirit Mirror? How long have you worked here in this world? 10 years. I see. So it really is a special stage. After all, right when I entered the chapel, I spotted Kinzo, yep. This both takes place in 1986, the stage of Bito's game. In that case, Kinzo shouldn't exist, yep. You've served the Ishimir family for many years, so just how much do you know about Beatrice? I know the master loved her deeply, but other than that, is that all? And, they say she's the master of Rokonjima's knights, That's right. The name of the ghost room into one of the mansion, yep. That brings the number of Beatrices up to 3. The first is the Beatrice from more than 30 years ago, who said to give Kinzo the gold. The second is the Beatrice from 20 years ago, who met Rosa. The third is the Beatrice of the ghost stories, who's rumored to be the master of the night in Rokonjima. Furudo Erika's reasoning was probably correct. It started out as a legend of evil spirits, yep. 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 That's the third, yep. Yep. This became the veil for the serial murders. Don't waste your time trying to understand. You'll just get a headache. My apologies. Kanon doesn't know Leon either, right? Yes. Kanon-kun was the same as me. Call Kanon over here. I want to talk to the pair of you about something. I mean, this is fun. That it is like feels like the most Answers arc that the Answers arc has been so far. It's just like, all right, I'm in a weird fucking alternate timeline where people who know the truth or know something that can lead me to the truth are here, and I just need to interrogate them and figure it out. It's kind of like it's very much a game in 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 a game. My apologies, we aren't allowed to leave the reception desk unmanned, so I can't leave to go get him. We, the 3 people who don't know Leon, need to talk. Gameception moment. I mean, yeah, like, because if you try to think about just how many layers of game there are in this, well, in here it's game more metaphorically than game literally, because there aren't really any mechanics other than pressing the space bar. And for me, pressing Alt and F12 to take the screenshots on Steam, and right clicking to go to the little info graph. What? I cannot disobey orders. Who is this person? You cannot negotiate. It is the one who orders us. Call Canon over here. I hate theater going just as much as I hate torture. Ah, yes. Feels like these games dragged on for forever. I mean, yeah, yeah. It's a long ass story. Definitely could do some of this with a what's the word? Quicker. But I am at least enjoying it. I'm enjoying my time, so call Canon. I want to check something with you two. I cannot call him. Do you still want me to? If you don't call him, I'm going to use my authority. If you insist, I can call him specially for you, but I will go call Canon-kun. Are you absolutely certain? I see. So after all, I get it. That's enough. You guys can take it in turns to run the reception desk. Okay, that's fun and spooky. Thank you for understanding. Yeah, I wanted to have been of service. It's a shame if you're looking for an umbrella. Anyway. Wait, your name was... It's Shannon. That's right, Shannon. Please take over at the reception desk and make sure you keep warm. Thank you very much, Leon-sama. Interesting. It's very... Yeah, this is very linear at the moment, which is not usually how they do it. I brought Willard some sun. Master, a guest has come to see you. I am Ushiomiya Kinzo. Well, I'm Willard. Allow me to express my condolences. So, you came here to attend Beatrice's funeral. Just who are you? I'm no one. I have no connections with anyone. Don't think too deeply about it. You'll just get a headache. Ow! I ask that you choose your words a little more carefully. A strange guest. So, what business do you have with me? I want to ask you about Beatrice. What? Why do you ask? You're no one, aren't you? Why do you want to know about Beatrice? What is your purpose? Because I'm no one. I can listen to your tale impartially and record it. You'll probably leave this world before too long. If you die without telling anyone anything about Beatrice, your children will adorn Beatrice with whatever tale they please, writing that into her memories. It's true. He's right, you know. If you don't tell everybody about who Beatrice is, everybody's going to use them for their own purposes because nobody knows what the fuck Beatrice is because you didn't tell anyone and then you died. And then Nazi pretended you were alive for a year. You entertain me, boy. Do you plan on writing my will for me? Well, hey, his name is Will. But that's none of your business. Beatrice is mine alone, no matter what other people say. No one can defile our tale. What they say is of no consequence. You know, is that why he's called Will? Like, does Ryuki Shizuru ever know this? Is that given that this is all supposed to be about, like, you know, Beatrice's funeral and people requiems and he's the Will? Is that the joke? Is this a pun, or does he not know? Who knows? No matter how Kraus and the others misconstrue it, it will be neither painful nor vexing to me. Philosophar, the master is not fond of Will. He is not the sort of man who would abandon a task. Yep. The ability to struggle on as long as we have life is what makes us human. You think I would give up so soon and leave behind a will? How laughably absurd. Yes, that does sound a bit more like you. I only ask for you to guide us by showing us that love's strength. Pretty good at this. It's your fault for being so tactless. What do you know of Beatrice? A truly ignorant person wouldn't even be interested in learning more. Good point. The Beatrice I know of is the woman you loved, the one you met before the mansion on Rokkanjima was even built. However, she probably departed from this world, leaving behind a daughter. And that's the girl who was raised in Kuadorian. Oh. Philotsama. There is a building known as Kuadorian on Rokkanjima. That name, Kuadorian. You mentioned it when we were talking with Aunt Rosa, too. What in the world does it mean? It's a good question. We know it exists because it mentioned... Well, at least we think it exists. But let's get some answers. You should have an idea by now. It's the name of the hidden mansion deep in the forest where his mistress' daughter lived. Interesting. So you actually know the name of Kuadorian. Continue. You've sparked my interest. The one living in Kuadorian was probably Beatrice's daughter. However, it seems that you, at least, didn't think of her that way. Oh, and how did I think of her? You thought you basically treated her as a reincarnation, pretty much. And he kind of said, you essentially deluded yourself into believing that because Beatrice is a witch, that you'd captured Beatrice's soul in this body of flesh. She said that she thought of you as a father. She did call you father. Oh shit. I just realized that's like with Battler. What might that be? Reincarnation. You didn't think of your daughter as a child Beatrice left behind. You believed that the dead Beatrice had revived into a new body. Yep. Genji, once in the past, you spoke in front of Nazi and several other family members, stating that there never was a child between Kenzo and Beatrice. Oh, but if you don't think it was a child, but of course, yeah. In the end, the first game, survive. Good God. Yeah, I don't remember. I probably don't remember half of this, but this is nice. I'm liking this. It's getting very direct at the moment. Near the end of the first game, at the end of chapter 1, the survivors all gathered in Kinzo's study. Genji was asked whether Kinzo and Beatrice ever had a child together, and he denied it, saying, "I have not heard of anything like that." Okay, thanks for letting us, reminding us. It may have been a lie, but in a way, it was a model answer for one of Kinzo's confidants. Yep. After all, in Kinzo's eyes, she wasn't a daughter, but Beatrice reborn. Right. Well. It's reasoning. However, I understand the heart. In your eyes, Beatrice was the woman you loved most. She remained that way even after death, for all eternity, and without fading in the slightest. I doubt you thought her as Beatrice reborn at the moment of her birth. However, it wouldn't be strange if you slowly began to wonder whether that child, whose blue eyes and beautiful blonde hair reminded you of younger Beatrice, might actually be Beatrice reborn. The daughter grew to be beautiful and nearly identical to her mother. You must have been ecstatic. However, I doubt you'd be completely satisfied by that alone. After all, though she was Beatrice reborn to you, she didn't think of herself that way. I just realized this is fucking... This is what happened with Battler. Last episode. It was like a... Beatrice is being reborn. Oh shit, was that what that metaphor was? It was a metaphor for the child who looks like Beatrice, or... How can you know that? Kuadori and she asked both Kinzo and Rosa about who she was. Who am I? Everyone calls me Beatrice, and that doesn't seem to be the name of a great witch, as you say. That isn't me. I cannot use magic. I simply have the soul of that witch sealed inside my body, okay. Maybe she did directly say that. Her memory would have returned eventually. She must truly have been Beatrice reborn. Her memory was coming back by bit. There's no need to be surprised. If you line up the information in all the games so far, this is the obvious answer you get. Interesting. Yeah, okay. The high-level Beatrice talked about this. By metaphor, she said the Kinzo refused to let the witch's soul escape even after death, and instead caught it and locked it up in a body of flesh. She also said that her power and memory had been sealed. If you match that interpretation of hers to this theory, it all makes sense. This is cool. We are actually getting answers now. See, I wouldn't have... I didn't necessarily assume this, because, I mean... Characters with the same sprite actually being their child, but they have the same sprite. It's like a, you know, I don't assume that's the case, but interesting. Very interesting. With Lord-sama, thanks to powerful magical ceremonies, the master gained a reborn child of the dead Beatrice-sama. That cannot be denied. I won't deny the stalk, and I don't intend to doubt the depths of Kinzo's love for this woman called Beatrice. How a man shows his affection for a child who's... Yep. You think you can understand my love? I'm not qualified to understand it. However, I'm also not qualified to deny it. Oh, Beatrice, please forgive me. Because of love, he believed she was Beatrice reborn, and raised her that way. However, somewhere in his heart, he might have felt pangs of conscience, telling him, yeah, he was okay, yep. Then the Beatrice of Kuadorian had unexpected guest Rosa. That woman simply couldn't believe she was the Beatrice Kinzo desired. Yep. She couldn't stand the fact she didn't understand who she was, and she wanted to escape to the outside world. And then she fell to her death. The question is this the... Because the baby, Leon, also fell to his death on the cliff. Is this related? He fell from the cliff and died. Genji handled that death, which couldn't become public knowledge, very quietly. Funerals aren't for the dead. They exist for those who are alive, considered tied to the dead. You can never do that. That's why it festered within you. Beatrice. You lost your mistress's daughter. No, you lost Beatrice twice. Unable to let that sorrow show on the outside, you kept it locked up in your heart. And it eventually festered and turned to madness. That's what spurred on your abnormally strong interest in the occult in later years. Why did you leave me twice? Why did you die in my arms not one but twice? Is that how much you... Oh, hi, Kumasawa. If they already know that much, perhaps we can tell them the rest? Though if they know that much, I don't believe there is anything more to tell. No, we should tell them. As a woman, I've always thought that the heart of Kuadorian's Beatrice is a story that should be told. It's interesting because Kumasawa was the one who raised the, the baby Beatrice that Battler created. And now someone has appeared who is worthy to hear it. I believe that now is the time to tell all without holding back. Kumasawa-san, do you know something about Beatrice? Of course she does. In the fourth game, we have testimony from the ferryboat captain saying that Kumasawa went in and out of Kuadorian. Okay, I can't remember that, but I'll believe you. I'd be willing to bet Kumasawa different work shifts at the mansion in Kuadorian. There was a young girl to be taken care of. Kumasawa, yeah, it must have been immense value. You might even call me her wet nurse. So everything Will-san is saying is the truth. It's a fact. A secret mansion was constructed on the opposite side of the island for Beatrice-sama. Kuadorian's existence is truth. I mean, that makes sense. It's been in enough games at this point that it's like, I believe it. I don't know when Kinzo married his official wife, but at that time he already had an enormous store of wealth and had bought Rokonjima whole, then built 2 mansions set up 2 separate lives. Master stayed in Kuadorian as much as time allowed. He sometimes pretend to go on a business trip and stay there for several days. Yep. It was not a father-daughter relationship. They treat it as a substitute for the dead Beatrice. Like, if the CG of Beatrice had been wearing, like, a different dress or something, it would have been more obvious that, like, oh no, it's Beatrice's daughter. But because she had, like, the exact same dress, it's kind of like, okay. Yeah. Beatrice-sama probably accepted her father's love. However, I will not deny that she was sometimes forced to bear a love she didn't understand. You're right to scold me, my friend. I understand. My love is eternal and dying. However, I must acknowledge that I poured that affection onto the wrong person. Grandfather. Grandfather. Master, the time to speak, sir, has arrived, has it not? I see. So that time has come, my friend. Unless you tell us, none of the truth will become clear. Perhaps on this day of my fickle funeral, Beatrice in heaven has given me a chance to atone. Forgive me for not telling you this before now. Here we go, we're getting fucking answers. Grandfather. You listened too, Leon. Guessed. Willard, was it? Yeah. I thank you for giving me a chance to speak of the truth while I'm still able. You must surely be a messenger from heaven sent by Beatrice. Technically, yes. My gratitude. Beatrice isn't the one you have to thank. It was just a witch. Well, I guess they're both witches. I don't care who it was. I've been given a chance. That is enough. Thank you, Willard. Yeah, so what does this mean? Now I will speak. I met Beatrice. Beatrice Castiglione, just before the end of the war. Oh shit. She's got a name. She came from across the sea. She has a last name. Beatrice Castiglione. It reminds me of, what's it called? Count Cagliostro. That's it. Count Cagliostro reminds me of that. Who's a famous, like, fake magician, and also a character in Grand Blue Fantasy, and also a character in Fate Grand Order. It's probably where they got it from. Listen, if Cagliostro is in two anime bullshit things, then I wouldn't be surprised if Ryukishi07 knew about it too. Well, who the hell? Is this young Kinzo? Oh shit, new sprites. Oh shit, new sprites. Oh shit. Are you Kinzo? It's how grandfather looked in the past. I've seen photos. Just what on earth? The name also appears in Marvel Comics. Okay, makes sense, yep. It's the theater-going power Burn Castell gave me. Don't try to understand. I'll just get a headache. You're getting the hang of this. The one time Kenji told Ballard that he looks like Kinzo in his youth. Oh, okay. So, are you telling me you just fucking recolored Battler's old sprite, gave it white hair, and changed the clothes to look like a Japanese soldier in the World War II? Allow me to introduce myself again. I'm Ushiromiya Kinzo. Grandfather. Okay, fine. Alright, so it's the battler voice. Okay, then. I had no desire to succeed the Ushiromiya family headship. Like being chosen as the head was nothing more than a prank of fate. In the Great Kanto earthquake, those in charge passed away, and you were selected from the branch families. Yep. Ridiculous. Those greedy elders kept looking out for their own personal interests and couldn't decide on a new head at all. It was as foolish as arguing about who the new captain should be on a sinking ship. So since you had no connection with anyone from the main family, you were selected. Yep. It's all because of my toes. Even though I won this toe on each foot, my life would turn out quite differently. Yep. The others didn't care whom they dragged in, as long as it wouldn't benefit any one of them particularly. Yep. Leon, it's quite different in your case. You'll be the one who inherits everything I have. That is the fate you were granted on the day of your birth. That is why I gave you that silver ring and raised you so strictly. You're quite different from me. It lasted for so long, that span of grey days. That dizzying stretch of time I spent dead, like moss growing on a rock. I became the rope up in a tug-of-war between the elders who thought nothing about their own profit, and I probably could have snapped at any moment. However, people were far more resilient than one would think. Before I realized it, I'd reached an age at which the young would laugh at me if I tried to call myself young. That dizzying long stretch of grey was left completely empty. It lasted a full 20 years. My mind DeLorean was still as young as it had been during those rich, happy days before I was summoned to Odawara. And yet my body alone grew older and older. Eventually, the vast gap between the two reached almost incomprehensible levels. So I'd hardly believe the worn-out man in the mirror was really me. It really wasn't me. The head of the Ushiromiya family was just a name. It had no power. Didn't require any independence. I was just a doll sitting there on the doll rack gathering dust. Before I knew it, I suddenly had a wife I did not know. It wasn't any wife I had chosen. It was the daughter of some noble family the elders had chosen and forced on me for their own reasons. But that did not matter to me. I didn't love my wife, but neither did I dislike her. I just didn't care. I fathered a few children, but that wasn't out of love for my wife. They were just born before I knew it. That's all there was to it. None of it mattered. Oh, that's not quite right. Everything was decided by someone other than me, and I simply obeyed. That was the job of the Ushiramir family head. Yes, on some level I did feel as though I was being slowly and quietly killed. Leon, there's nothing so long and faint as a life you do not live for yourself. And yet it slides on by in the blink of an eye. Do not forget this. Living means having your own will. Will, says Will. You probably were dead during that time. I wanted to live, no, I wanted to die. How can a puppet die? By cutting the strings. Correct. That would mean death, and it would also mean life, since it would mean being free. How did you do that? Oh, the earthquake? Or no, the world, right, the war. World War II. Well, World War II. Yep. Thanks to influence the elders, I was able to avoid conscription. But this was not out of compassion for me. It was because I was their precious puppet. I realized I'd finally found my time to die. One by one, I cut the threads I was hanging from and began to search for a place to end my life. So you search for death on the battlefield. Okay, so he did go. He conscripted. He went to join the war. I thought if I was gonna die anyway, I should try and be of some use to my country. Oh, geez. How do we tell him? How do we tell him? No, that's a lie. I probably just lack the willpower to end my own life. War was a suitable excuse for death. This is why war fucking sucks. I mean, like, hey, you want to risk your life? You want to die? Like, you're not going to get the people who are emotionally stable for this. And then they're going to be even less emotionally stable when they come back. War fucking sucks. Doesn't matter whether you think it's a just war or not. War fucking sucks. He was tasked with setting up facilities for the Navy construction team. Okay. What a foolish mistake that was. If only I just said I had no useful skills, I could have been sent to the dangerous front lines right away. So we didn't need to go to the front lines. I only wanted to get drunk on the liquor known as dying for the sake of one's country. The US planes did nothing but cut across the sky to that forgotten island. They didn't have even a bullet to spare for me, much less a bomb. Is this the time you met Beatrice, grandfather? Correct. She came to me from the sea. Where did you meet her? You mentioned an island. Yes, this island. That's where she arrived. So you met her here, on Rokkanjima. What's going on? I heard the Rokkanjima was uninhabited until you boarded, grandfather. I never knew there was a Japanese military base here. Oh yes, you could hardly call that a military base. It was just a cave. I was one of the guards of that cave. Okay, interesting. $1944. Oh shit! This is great. I'm loving this. Due to the honorable defeats at Saipan and Guam, Japan's absolute national defense zone strategy was in shambles. Yep. Where had the gallantry shown at Pearl Harbor gone? Yep, the gallantry. We killed all those Americans. It said the last trump card for the Japanese was a type of man torpedo known as the Kaiten. It said that these ultimate weapons packed with 1.55 tons of explosive were capable of sinking any kind of warship with a single blast, right? Well, unfortunately, there's the planes and the bombs. Listen, like, war fucking sucks, you know? Like, this isn't even I'm not even trying to, like, take sides here in inverted commas. It's just war is awful. When it has to, when somebody decides that war is the option that you're taking, it's just awful. strengthened homeland's faith, and then we drafted a plan to build a string of hidden bases from Hachijo Island to Yokosuka, all to house submarines loaded with Kaiten torpedoes. Okay. I mean, there was a Kaiten base constructed on Hachijo Island, but there was actually one Rokkanjima? A fool decided it would be a good idea to plant a base on this desolate island. It's better preserve its secrecy? Ridiculous. I could never understand what the higher-ups were thinking, and I didn't particularly want to. The Kaiten, which could finish off a large warship with a single strike, truly was... Man, this sure is sadly ironic, because it's like, oh yeah, this is us, the ultimate weapon. It can finish off a battleship in a single strike, a large warship in a single strike. The ultimate weapon. Nothing could possibly beat us. What the hell is that in the sky? What's that second thing in the sky? Oh God, oh good God, oh good God. What are the Americans? How many of these do the Americans have? And what are they? Oh fucking, oh God, oh fuck. That's a nuke. So the presence of the submarines capable of loading these weapons in the water just off Japan would allow for a powerful sea ambush as the last line of defense. Yeah, that's the thing, because they didn't, I guess that's the whole thing. America didn't do a sea invasion of Japan. They just dropped the nuke. Then they dropped the second nuke to make them think that they had lots of nukes, but I don't know how many they had ready actually at the time. I mean, that's probably classified military information, you know? And then they just went and left and went to say, hoped that Japan would just say surrender. Because, I mean, they were losing anyway, you know, obviously. It was a case of when rather than if. They knew Japan was going to lose, but, you know, it was... did a whole thing about this, and you know, I did a little like essay back in like high school about it because you know it's essentially the nuclear bombs, the Hiroshima and Nagasaki bombs, were a war crime. Like they were a war crime in all sorts of levels. The reasoning is kind of like but if by committing this war crime. Well, I mean, to be fair, also the Geneva Accords weren't... Geneva Accords only happened, like Geneva Conventions only happened after World War II, but also it was like you know, by committing a war crime, we can end the war earlier, which will prevent other people from getting killed, on both sides. Is it justified? That's the question. Like the actual... I mean, like that's not the pure reason, because obviously, another reason why America wanted to drop the nukes was to basically scare up the Soviets because of basically saying, hey, don't mess with us afterwards because we have these nuclear bombs and you don't have them yet. We have them first, so you've got no idea what we're capable of. Anyway, yeah. History lessons. Anyway, yep, the uninhabited island Rokkanjima was raised as a possible candidate. Investigation of the island resulted in discovery of large caves in the cliffs. This was deemed a suitable location for a submarine base. Okay. Establishment? Certainly if we call digging clay out a cave establishment. Not only that, the base was abandoned before its completion. Why? Because at that time, Japan no longer had any submarines large enough to transport a Kaiten torpedo. How truly laughable. What's the point in having a submarine base if there aren't any submarines left? There's one thing that never changes, it's politicians and their meaningless projects. Rokkanjima was never supplied with any... Okay. Construction was eventually suspended, and a minimum number of men were stationed on the island, waiting for orders from above that never came. But the fact that it was a hidden base actually have sealed our fate. The higher-ups already completely forgotten about this useless and pointless cavern. We're nothing more than guards for a mere cave. We spent our days farming, fishing, and playing with the dirt, all the while gazing up at the American formations flying past. Some of our group were relieved at the prospects of the war ending before anyone remembered we were here, or any of us had to face a real battle. Yeah, I hoped and hoped for the American troops to advance and kill me as soon as possible. Yeah. Alright, I think I'm gonna have to stop this story now because I want to have dinner. If I continue this afterwards, maybe I will, because this is juicy lore. Like, we're getting backstory, we're getting answers, we're getting all this stuff. It's funny because um thingy Featherine was saying that, like, Bernie, you can make this as gruesome of a story as you want, but it's not really gruesome so far. It's very much it is just kind of like a, hi, hello, new guy. I have locked you in a room. In the room are all the people who have all of the answers to the story. Go and interrogate them one by one until you have all of that. And then once that's finished, come back and tell it to me. And then I'll let you go. Which isn't really that brutal at all. So, I guess things are a bit more complicated now. We'll see.